Hello there and welcome to another Nick Beck's Amateur Watch Reviews. Today I bring you a new Casio G-Shock steel. This is in their tough solar range, so I shall just very quickly go through the specs, which I will put up on the screen. But basically it's a Casio GST-W300G, and the actual number at the end there is 1A2ER. But like I say, I will put it up on the screen just so you can have a look. It has a full auto LED display light. As I said, it's solar, and I believe about sort of 10 or 15 minutes of charging in daylight lasts for a good few months, and it's got a battery indicator to tell you when it's running down. So yeah, it's not a problem. But like I say, I mean, I've had this for a couple of months now, and it's just sort of, when I'm not wearing it, sits on the dressing table absorbing the light, and it's just absolutely fine. It hasn't stopped or done anything. So yeah, it's brilliant stuff. Anyway, onto the specs again. It has a radio signal to set sort of perfect accuracy for the timing. Has luminous hands, which of course coupled with the LED light is pretty handy. But to be honest, I mean, I will show you a quick loom shot, but the loom hands are not fantastic. They don't really need to be because it has the LED. It has world time, so on one of the subdials, which I will show you, you can have a different time zone. I tend to keep mine set for Brisbane because my friend lives in Brisbane, and it's really handy that if I call him, I don't wake him up in the middle of the night. So it has world time, it has a stopwatch, it has a countdown timer, it has 5 alarms, and it has a few handy little features. Namely, one is when you're setting the mode, which I will try and show you, the hands, it has like an automatic hand moving function, so you can read the dials clearly without the hands sort of obscuring them. I'm not going to go through all the different modes and different functions of this watch for two reasons. Firstly, I really don't know how to do most of it myself. I really don't. And I'm not a technical person. I like the watch because I think it's a cool looking watch and it's nice quality, blah, 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 and all those things. Number two, there are tons of tutorials on these watches on YouTube. One that I've watched a few times is absolutely brilliant is G-Shockers. They are, top notch. So if you need to know anything about it functionality wise, you're much better off to go to one of those channels because they're or watch one of their videos because they're an awful lot better than I am. So that's the reason I won't go through. But there's a couple of little things I'd like to show you that I've worked out for myself, and I feel quite proud of myself there. Anyway, back to the specs. It has a mineral glass. It has a steel and resin case for the shock absorbing, as in G-Shock. It has a full resin band with a stainless steel buckle, which I will show you. The lug to lug on this is 48.2. Now it says in the manual it's 49, but I've measured it with my digital reader at 48.2. So, maybe there's a little bit in there or not. Lug is 26 millimeter and the case is 49 millimeters. So without further ado, let me show you the watch itself. So as you can see, it comes with the usual Casio G-Shock tin. Let's just remove the sponge, and the typical Casio black cardboard box and all your manuals and your guarantee. Now as you can see, it's a black bezel with a matte black dial with your sub-dials, and each of the sub-dials are ringed in like a stainless steel colour. The hands are like a steel blue, quite a pale blue, to match the outside of the case. And as you can see, the outside of the case, if I bring it up to the camera, is fairly well brushed. It's a nice feature. And on the kind of chamfered edge, you can see it's polished. There we go. And you can see just on the top of the strap there, it's kind of like a gnarled resin, which is really quite tactile and very comfortable, which, like I say, I will show some wrist shots. So back to the watch. Like I say, you have the black dial and the black bezel, if it'll actually come into focus. There we go. With the four, I don't know what they're for. I guess they are for taking the watch to bits. The four screws, and then if you look down the side, you can see the little screws there there we go, to undo, and the Allen keys to take off the resin strap should you need to replace it. However, I've had a G-Shock with a resin strap now for about nearly 20 years, and it's still got the original strap, and it's still brilliant. It's, you know, it's so reliable and so well made, as is this watch. I mean, this watch feels, it's not a heavy watch by any stretch of the imagination. I think it comes in under 100 grams, but it does still feel very substantial and very solid. The bezel itself, I think, is probably aluminium. I'm not sure if it's stainless steel. I might be wrong, and if you do know better, please put it in the comments below. I'm always grateful for your input and certainly your information. As you can see, the different layers, you've got the dark, very, very dark grey or black bezel top, the brushed steel sort of inner, and the different layers with the resin for the G-Shock protection. And turning the watch over, and if I can just show you the clasp there, that's the buckle, and the keeper has G-Shock. What I like about this one, just there, you can see it's the tip of the strap is slightly raised, so when you put the strap through the keeper, I'll just get my words right there, it doesn't move, so it kind of just stays put, and it's quite a nice little safety feature. And I actually think it's quite a clever little design. It's something so simple, but it makes so much difference. Then moving around to the back of the watch, you have your usual Casio G-Shock shock resist, 200-meter water resistant, and the model number, made in Japan, movement Japan. I'm not absolutely sure where these watches are made. I think they're made in Vietnam, but I'm not sure. So again, in the comment section, please, it says Thailand on there actually, so there you go, you learn something new every day. So back to the watch itself. I like I say, I'm not going to try to go through the different modes on this watch, because I really don't know them, and I'd probably make a bit of an idiot of myself, and, you know, probably get 1,000 comments saying, no, you shouldn't have done it like that, and this is how you properly do it. But there's a couple of little things I'd like to show you. Now, first of all, if you look onto the right subdial, just here where my thumb is, you'll see two sections at the bottom. I think one of them, my eyes are not fantastic, but one of them is DST and the other one is LT, which is light. Now what this watch does, it has an automatic LED light. So when you turn in the darkness, when you turn your wrist to your face, the LED light pops on. And it's really quite simple to work. So here is the, up on the top right here. Sorry, I think I said right dial, but I actually meant the left dial, which is there. Up on the top right, the light button, you'll see the light pop on. Now, if I hold it for a couple of seconds after it goes off, that little section there is filled in black. So now, as the light fades, when I turn my wrist toward my face, the light pops on, which is a really handy thing to have. And because it's solar, you don't have to worry about the battery running down very quickly. So, you know, that's a really clever little feature. Now, another little thing I've learned, if you press and hold the top left adjust button just for a couple of seconds, and I don't know if this is going to work, and it's not, so I didn't get that right. See what I mean? This is why I don't try and show people. So hold that again. You can see adjust come up. Oh, I can't get this. Well, what happens is you'll find, actually, I'll tell you what, if I, there we go. Right, let me just start again. So I'm possibly the worst person in the world when it comes to electronics and gadgets. So as you can see, I'm flicking through the modes, and you can see alarm, and that's Saturday, obviously it's today. So now if I try again, if I press and hold that top left button, it comes up adjust. Hold it, hold it, hold it, handset. It's not going to work, is it? We're not going to get that. So there we go. So basically the hands move out of the way of the dials. So then you can go through your different dials because you can see them clearly. Sorry about the time it took me to do it. Now you've got London coming up on your right dial here. So if I wanted to change that for, I'm guessing that's Lisbon. And if I go back this way, we got London, Madrid, Paris, Rome. So that's kind of how to change the different time zones. And then simply, I'm bringing this back to London, simply press adjust again. The hands return to the right place and return to the right daytime. And I think it's the date on there today. So it's the 8th of the 1st, which is correct. It's Saturday, and you have the little alarm box at the bottom there displaying today's seconds. So, like I say, there's not really a great deal I can say about this watch because it is a gadget watch, and you'll find a lot more to it on other sites of actually how to work the functions. But I just thought I'd show you around the watch. I will put some wrist shots up. I can't say enough about it. It's a very, very comfortable watch to wear. Let me just stop for a second, and I'll just put it on my wrist so you can have a look. And there we go. That's on the wrist. It's very comfortable. It's quite a tall watch. It's quite thick. I think the thickness is about 15. But because of the inside of the rubber strap, there's kind of little cushions that kind of fold around the top of your wrist, and that makes it a really, really comfortable wear indeed. And it's you know, it's really impressive. And it's once it's been on for a little while, I actually don't actually remember it's there. It is that comfortable. So there's my new Casio G-Shock Steel. Again, apologies for the lack of understanding of how to work the functions. Be grateful for your comments. And like I say, please do have a look at G-Shockers and the other videos on YouTube, because you'll find an awful lot more information on the functions than I can give you. But for now, thank you for watching. Thanks for all your kind comments. Thank you for all your input, all my new subscribers, and of course, most importantly, all my existing subscribers. And thanks for all the people that have viewed it. To take 5 or 10 minutes out of your day to listen to a boring bloke like me going on about watches, I admire you myself. So thanks ever so much. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and keep safe.